Hello, hello. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation. My name is Light Watkins. For those of you who do not know me, I am a Vedic meditation teacher. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I wrote a book called Bliss More: How to Succeed in Meditation Without Really Trying. And just a little background on my experiences with meditation before we get into our practice. For the first few years of me dabbling in meditation, I really struggled to meditate. I was that guy in the room who was sitting there with their eyes closed and I felt like I was just staring at the back of my eyelids. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I didn't feel like anything was happening. And then a few years after that, I met someone who taught me some principles of how to meditate in concert with the thinking mind. And that changed my entire relationship with meditation. So I wrote about that in Bliss More, and that's why I called it How to Succeed in Meditation Without Really Trying, because that's a literal interpretation of what I have been practicing and teaching now for about 20 years. And the basis of this approach to meditation is what I call doing the anti-focus method, right? Normally when we think about meditation, we associate it with focusing on something, whether it's the breath, whether it's a white light, the waterfall, an intention, or perhaps we're visualizing something or concentrating on the third eye or something like that. And so the anti-focus approach is really the opposite of all of that. Instead of trying to put our attention in a specific place, it's really more about allowing the attention to go wherever it wants to go. So I'm going to walk you through it though in a moment, because we're going to practice this together. And then we can all have the experience. And the other thing I want to say about it before we get into it though is it's important not to look like you're meditating. What do I mean by that? You don't need to sit with your back straight. You don't need to have your shoulders back. You don't need to have your chin lifted. You don't need to have your fingers together. You don't need to have your palms facing up. You don't need to have your legs crossed. You don't need to be on your meditation cushion. Does that mean it's wrong to do all those things? Absolutely not. All right? There's 1,000 different approaches to meditation. This is just one of them. And so for this anti-focus method to work as well as it's designed to, you want to sit comfortably. You want to have back support. You want to have your hands, your legs, and your feet at ease. Okay? So go ahead and sit back as if you were going to be reading a magazine, or as if you were going to be listening to a podcast, or you're going to be watching television, right? You want to be in as comfortable as a seat as you can, with the exception of lying down. This is not a practice you want to necessarily do while lying down. Sitting up, but sitting up comfortably. Okay? Now, once you have your comfortable seat, go ahead and close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, you're going to notice that it's going to seem like the volume in your mind gets turned up. So from here, I want you to just take 4 or 5 deep breaths, okay? And every exhale, you're going to settle a little bit more into your physical body. And just see if there are any places in your body that you can relax just a little bit more every exhale. And then after that 4th or 5th exhale, you're going to allow your breathing to return to normal. And this is where we're going to slip into this anti-focus approach in the meditation. So I'm going to soften my voice a little bit here because I don't want it to sound too jarring while you're going through this process. If you can't hear what I'm saying, that's totally fine. You don't need to try to hear what I'm saying. Okay? Because during these next few minutes, all we're going to be doing is getting ourselves into more of a being state and less of a doing state. So again, normally with meditation, we are preoccupied with doing. Doing includes thinking about something specific, breathing in a certain way, imagining something specific, concentrating, contemplating, visualizing. And so those are all different variations of doings. We don't need to be doing anything. So we're just sitting with our eyes closed, and you don't even have to try to get into this being state. The being state is already there. The being state is simply the absence of the doing, right? It's the absence of the doing. And what you may notice is that your mind is going off into all kinds of different directions. Maybe some people are thinking about their to-do list. Somebody else may be thinking about a conversation they had last night. Somebody else may be thinking about their long-term goals and ambitions. And another person may be thinking about the problems that they are having in their relationship, right? And the difference in what maybe you've done before in the past and what we're doing right now in meditation is, instead of shaming ourselves for having these kinds of thoughts that have nothing to do with meditation, we're going to go the other way with it. We're going to embrace this thinking process. We're going to accept all of the thoughts. We're going to surrender to it. We're going to yield to any experiences we're having internally or externally, which includes any noises you may hear, the temperature, any sort of itchiness you may be experiencing. And so the instruction is just to be natural with all of that. You don't have to do anything specific about it. Just be yourself. Keep your eyes closed as we're going through this process. And if you find yourself going from one thought to the next, to the next, to the next, instead of feeling any sort of negative way about that, I want you to replace that judgment with nonchalance and indifference, right? So when you naturally ask yourself, why am I having this thought? Your default answer is, I don't know, I don't care. That's your default answer. It doesn't matter what the thought is about. It could be a thought about the white light, or it could be a thought about a conversation. It could be a happy conversation, or it could be a sad conversation. It doesn't really matter. When you ask yourself, why am I having this experience? Your answer is, I don't care. I don't know even. I don't care. Okay? And the idea of thinking itself, I want you to treat that as if this is exactly what's supposed to happen while I'm meditating. The nature of the mind is to think thoughts. And here I am with my eyes closed with an active mind. And the active mind is just doing what minds naturally do. It's just having some thoughts. I don't need it to stop having thoughts. I don't need it to think about anything specific. I don't need it to go faster, slower. I don't need it to change in any way. That's your attitude. And so this is essentially what we're practicing. We're practicing adopting the attitude that whatever is happening is absolutely perfect. Whatever's happening is absolutely perfect, right? Whatever I'm thinking about is absolutely perfect. Even if I feel like I'm falling asleep, perfect. Even if I'm hyper-focused on a particular thought, perfect. Even if you're getting distracted by my voice, perfect. Even if you can't really hear what I'm saying, perfect. So that's what we're practicing. We're practicing this attitude of seeing everything that happens in and around the meditation as this is exactly what's supposed to be happening. There's no breath control. There's no mind control. We are just sitting here in pure acceptance, which is a very novel way to approach the meditation practice. And we're just going to do this for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to bring you out. But for now, you may feel your body melting more and more into your seat. You may feel your mind roaming more and more into all kinds of crooks and crevices, all kinds of thoughts. Anything you've ever thought about in your past potentially may come up in this meditation practice, and that's totally fine. We want to look at it as this is absolutely perfect. Okay? And now, I want you to come back to your breathing. We're going to deepen the breath again. We're going to take 4 or 5 deep breaths. At every exhale you take, you're going to bring yourself back a little bit more, right? Starting with coming back into your body, maybe even moving your body a little bit, then coming back into the room. And on your final deep exhale, coming back into this moment. And then slowly open your eyes. So what you may have experienced there is that meditation felt like it went by a little bit faster, or perhaps even a lot faster than meditation normally goes by. And that is because of the secret power of full acceptance during the meditation. In other words, taking the anti-focus approach. That's what we just did. We took the anti-focus approach. And that's why, again, I call my book How to Succeed in Meditation Without Really Trying. So I know that word succeed, is a little bit triggering for some people when you relate it to a practice like meditation. So let me define success for you. When I talk about success in that way, what I describe as a successful meditation practice is meditating in a way that you just enjoy. You enjoy it naturally. You don't enjoy it because somebody tells you you should enjoy it. That's what was happening to me my first few years. Oh, meditation's blissful, it's samadhi, it's nirvana. I didn't feel any of that. I didn't feel any of it. It just felt like torture to me, to be perfectly honest. So I thought everybody was just full of crap, right? And when I learned this principle of allowing the mind to roam, taking the anti-focus approach, adopting the free-range mind, that's when I genuinely started to enjoy meditation. And guess what happens when you enjoy something? You look forward to doing it again. And it's easier to make the time for it. And so people who don't meditate on a daily basis, without even realizing it, the reason they don't do it is because they don't enjoy it. They don't enjoy it enough to make the time for it every day. We happily make time for social media every day. Why? Because there's an enjoyment factor in comparing ourselves and seeing what everybody else is up to. So we want to get meditation to that level. We want to get meditation to the same degree of enjoyment that people have coffee and cigarettes and Netflix and candy, sugar, and all the things that we happily make the time for. Even drama. Some people really enjoy so much drama in their life that they'll happily make the time to be dramatic and gossip and do all the things. We need to get meditation into that category. And the way you do it, in my experience, is you take the anti-focus approach. So this is what I've been writing about, and this is what I've been teaching for 2 decades. I mentioned that I have a book, Bliss More, How to Succeed in Meditation Without Really Trying. And I also facilitate retreats and trainings. Kelly Gores has been through one of my trainings. I teach meditation down in Mexico City, where I'm based. And you can get all the information about the trainings. My next retreat is over the new year. For those of you who want to end this year on a strong note and start the next year with a very deep and enriching meditation practice. Because this is just literally, this is the tip of the iceberg, what we talked about today. There's so much more to it. And everything that you learn, your meditation practice just gets a lot easier and a lot more self-sufficient. So go to lightwatkins.com to get more information about that. And then finally, I have an online community called The Happiness Insiders, which you can access at thehappinessinsiders.com. There's a 7-day meditation kickstart, which you can join, as well as a 108-day meditation challenge to hold you accountable for your first 3+ months of meditation. And I just want to thank you so much, Heal Community, for being such wonderful participants in this meditation today. I look forward to coming back here again and doing this again. And in the meantime, continue to do your daily practice, make the time. You can adopt this approach if you felt connected to it. And I hope to see you at some point soon in real life. Take care. Big namaste to all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. And I will share this in case you join late.